The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the staff or management of Visionary Related Entertainment.
Aloha and welcome to Maui Nonprofit Notes, where each week you'll find us talking story with Maui's nonprofit executive directors and their staff to find out how they're working to support those with needs within our community. Maui Nonprofit Notes is generously sponsored by Pacific Source. If you're building or remodeling a home, please stop by Pacific Source's Cabinet and Appliance Showroom, located in the Waikapu Base Yard. I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. For those of you who may be listening for the first time to this weekly show, during the hour we share some of the experiences of our nonprofit agencies and just how they are changing lives, changing communities, and creating miracles of hope for those with needs. And today we're going to start off our show talking about women helping women. We have one of the members of the board of directors of that organization, Michelle Navarro Ishiki, is with us. Hi there.
Aloha.
How you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you for having us today.
Oh, well, thank you for serving on their board. It's I'm always fascinated. Is that the right word I want to use? With all the things that organization does. I mean, it's a small staff, but it seems like it's covering all the bases when it comes to potential abuse situations.
It's an amazing program, I have to admit, and that's why I am so excited to collaborate along with them. They have a wonderful executive director, Stacy Moniz, and she does a wonderful job with a staff of just over 20 members who do an amazing job. Anything from TRO advocacy, community collaborations for their women that they serve, getting them services such as clothing, right. Parenting, you name it.
You're right, you name it.
Yes.
And the shelters, you've got 2 shelters.
Absolutely.
Here on Maui.
Yes. We currently have the one, and we're working on another one.
Oh, right.
In
Lanai, and that's where she is. She's headed to Lanai for a community meeting tonight.
Community meeting, yes. We are slated to begin building on July 1st. So
wow.
It's coming up really quick. You know, the time really flies, and we're really looking forward to that addition for our Maui County residents.
You know, a lot of times Lanai gets overlooked because everybody says, oh, well, there's so few people there. They don't have these issues.
I think, because of the size of the community, we overlook. You think with a community that small, however, it doesn't matter how many people live on an island, we still have the same issues.
Right. I think one of the things I'd like to cover as we talk, when we talk about abuse, there's so many different forms of abuse. Usually, I mean, the big one that everybody talks about, of course, is women being abused by their male partners and so forth. But it can be the other way around.
Absolutely.
And it also can be seniors being abused by children and friends and relatives.
Yes.
And so all of these situations are covered with what this program does.
Yes. We do offer support services for men because they do need kokua too. We don't exclude anybody. We're not an all-inclusive program. And, we highlight the women and children. We assist whatever and whoever we can when we can.
And it can be something as simple as talking with them.
Absolutely. You can call it. There's a hotline that you can call, 24-hour hotline, 579-9581. And if you just need someone to have a timeout with, they'll be there for you. They can refer you to whatever you may need at that moment. So that piece is extremely important for people to know, is that if you need help in that moment, just to speak to someone will talk to you.
Right. You don't have to wait till tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock when the office opens.
Not everything happens at 8 o'clock in the morning.
That's right.
Yeah, a lot of things happen when the sun goes down. And you talked about different types of abuse. We're not just talking about physical abuse. If there's potential for harm based on verbal abuse, mental abuse, and if you have fears that something is about to happen, get out, call the shelter, and they can help you.
And sometimes I wonder when we're talking like this, do people think, well, it's just this time, or it's just verbal, or it's just, I don't think a lot of people realize mental abuse when it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But then if it becomes verbal, then they start to get a little concerned about it. But by then they've done a lot of damage.
Absolutely. It's those types of scars that are really hard to deal with. And when you normalize that type of behavior in a situation, in your relationship, then you don't know any better until you've gotten hit. And then you realize, okay, there's some problems here. But the problem started way before you got hit. And it's that mental and emotional that you speak of.
Right. And also, even if you can get away from that situation, so often that has become such a way of life for the women or men, whichever the case might be. They fall right back into it with another person.
It's knowing what and who you are and really celebrating yourself, loving yourself. But it's not to say that you don't, and that's why you continue to go back. A lot of women just want to keep their families together, and you cannot fault them for that. But how to take care of yourself, how to be able to love yourself and know the red flags, and how to get out and get help and get yourself in a better situation. And as you start to learn what a real healthy relationship looks like, or can have the potential to look like, you strive for that.
Does someone that's in that situation realize that there's another way to live? I mean, the people around them are living normal lives. Do they see a difference? Or
when we talk about normal, what is
what
normal?
is normal? I gotcha.
And when you, like I mentioned earlier, when you normalize a particular type of behavior and you protect yourself and your abuser, it's hard to see anything past that. Because oftentimes when you're in that circle, you're not allowed to go outside
right.
of that. So
because that's part of what they're doing.
that's
is
part of what they're
controlling.
doing. So until you can break away just a little, and then you can start seeing the world outside of your circle, then things become a little clearer. But it's taking a chance at going outside of that circle.
Right. Wow. In trying to spread the word, and I know that, we talk about it here on the show. I think Stacy's and some of the staff have been on maybe 2 or 3 times a year here, and we're now in our 7th year, so that's a lot of radio time. And we try to share with the community what signs to look for. Can someone help someone who's in a situation like that and try to shed some light on what is happening to them?
I can tell you, because I speak from experience,
Right.
it's hard to tell someone what to do
Right.
because this is what they know.
Right.
If you offer resources, numbers, without telling, you use a different approach, a different type of perspective, you could be a little bit more successful, and the woman or man could be a little more receptive, because nobody wants to be told what to do. Nobody wants to be told your relationship should be like this or your relationship is that.
Right.
They know. They just sometimes need someone to listen.
Right.
And we can help, but the way we can offer help is by asking the woman or man, what kind of help do you need? How can I help you?
Go and help you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that part of what, when you're doing community education, you go out, everybody goes out and gives talks to community groups and different workshops and so on and so forth. If somebody attends that, well, maybe that's the wrong way to say it, because if you don't know what's going on, you're not going to attend one of these to find out.
Mm-hmm.
But if you happen to be in one and you go, wait a minute, that's me. Or like, I remember back when I was a kid, how many times we'd come home from church and have lunch, and Dad would say, gosh, the minister must have been following me this week. That sermon was just what I needed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You kind of get that kind of response from some people once in a while. It's like, how did you know he was going to do that next?
We hear it a lot, but sometimes the women know. They just know. When you're in that type of situation. And the ones who aren't being hit yet, they're like, oh, there's the potential that this could lead to that. So, yeah, there are those who exist who feel like you just told their story. But the story is not uncommon for many men and women. That's the one thing that must be highlighted is don't ever feel like you're alone. Don't ever feel like you're going through this by yourself. Your story is not unique.
Right.
What happens within your circle is unique to you, but there's a lot of people who go through the same things that you do.
Are we winning the battle? Are we enlightening people and helping to I mean, because abusers can get help too,
Absolutely.
not just the abused.
Yes.
Are we seeing bigger numbers, less numbers, or because there's more help available, are the numbers growing for people saying, I want help?
I would like to say yes.
Okay.
But as the yeses increase, so do the instances of domestic violence.
Right. Wow. I just, it's so hard for me to understand what that's like. I don't think that I've known anyone in my life that's been in that situation.
That you know of.
That I know of, right.
Because a lot of women won't tell.
It's not, there's no outward signs usually.
No.
Unless there's bruises or things like that. But in many cases, the whoever's gotten the bruises doesn't go out until they fade or they get good makeup to cover it.
But you remember we spoke of emotional and mental abuse too.
Right.
So you don't know.
That's true.
And you cannot assume because you don't see a scratch, bruise, or cut that nothing is going on.
Right. I remember a few years ago that a friend of mine was talking about they'd taken some class at UH on how to be the real you or something, and it was an extra class that they took because it just sounded interesting, and they came out of that class understanding that they had been under this mental abuse.
Yes.
And that her husband for years and years and years had just controlled everything she did. She couldn't go out with the girls. She couldn't do this. She couldn't do that. She had to be home with the kids, period, et cetera, et cetera. And when she took that class, it was eye-opening, and it was almost dangerous.
That is, you asked earlier, red flags. That is one. The control, where you can't go anywhere. You can't talk to anybody outside of who he or she says you can speak with. I mean, that's a really big red flag.
Well, and then when she took this class and she started saying, I want to go do this and I'm going to go do that, and it was like, why? And they did end up getting a divorce, which was fairly peaceful. I mean, it didn't escalate into some really serious thing. But it was like after 15 years of this, all of a sudden her eyes were open. She saw the world out there that was. She's now in a very steady relationship that's
yes.
Again, we don't know the inner workings of it, but it appears to be much better for her. And her kids have kind of turned a corner too. They were, we talk about the cycle of abuse. If you come from a family of abuse,
it's called generational trauma, where we expose each and every generation.
Okay. And so now they're seeing mom in a little different situation, and so they're kind of turning around to where they, again, for lack of a better word, I start to say normal, but we don't know what normal is, but more along the lines of
a little healthier
life
type of lifestyle.
There you go.
Yes. And you said 15 years, so it's 15 years of normalizing this behavior until you get outside your circle and you can see maybe perhaps that's not very normal.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just, I can't help but think, wow, what if she'd never taken that class?
Yes.
And I know she struggled for quite a few years getting out of the relationship and putting her life back together and building a new life. But she could have gone on forever not realizing the situation she was in.
Not just the situation she was in, but what else was out there for her to enjoy in life outside of that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Boy, you've got a big, before we get too far into this and forget about your big event coming up, let's take a short break and we'll come back and we'll talk about your fundraiser coming up on Sunday.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we are back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, where each week you'll find a stocking story with two of our nonprofit organizations who are members of the Maui Nonprofit Directors Association. And our first guest today, Michelle Navarro Ishiki, is a board member of Women Helping Women. And she came to talk about the big fundraiser coming up on Sunday, but we got her off track for the first half of the show and talked about the subject of Women Helping Women. And I hope that maybe we shed some light out there to some of you that, maybe you'll call that number that we talked about, or if they want to, that's the hotline number, the 579-9581. Is there another number that they can call just to talk story with somebody about what they think might be happening? Or
Sure, they can call our main office at 242-6600, and there will be someone there that can help them during normal business hours on Monday through Friday.
Okay, great. That's 242-6600.
Yes.
Great. And now let's talk about your fundraiser, because these are always such a fun thing.
Absolutely. We have our 19th annual Women Helping Women annual event, and it'll be at the King Kamehameha Golf Club. And our theme this year is Roaring 20s. You know, flappers and dappers, come and enjoy. We're really looking forward to what this event is really about, and it's really about helping our community and all the wonderful table designers that are coming to really highlight and showcase their talent for their organization and their establishments out in the community. But more importantly, they're helping our organization to provide additional funding resources for our programs. I just wanted to highlight some of the live auction items that we have.
You always have some good ones.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We have a West Maui package. It's a 2-night stay at the Western Kaanapali, 7-line tour for 2 at Kapalua Zip Line, snorkel sail adventure. We have a Wailea package, a Hello Kitty, if you're a Hello Kitty lover. These are all for our live auctions. But I wanted to thank the many businesses on Maui who've graciously donated such wonderful gifts. We have the Atlantis Submarines Maui, Blend Studio, Bounty Music, Discount Fabric Warehouse. The list goes on, and I hate to leave people out, but we have Mama's Fish House, the Montage Kapalua Bay, Murata Designs, Sarai Maui, just to name a few, VIP Food Service, the wonderful, wonderful organizations who give so willingly to our organization.
Right. And as she's thumbing through about 6 pages, she's just pulling off some names off of each page, so you can see
yes.
the numbers of people that contribute to this event.
Just amazing.
It is. And then the people who come in costume.
They come in costume, flappers and dappers. This year is our Roaring 20s, like I said, and I'm excited because I have never worn one. I ordered mine, and I'm excited because it's a fun era. Uh-huh. And when you speak in terms of the table designers, they're going to be decorating their tables to meet the theme, and it's everybody's coming together, and we may have 1 or 2 tables left. So if you want to be a part of that, come on down. Like I said, the most important thing is that our organization is able to benefit from the generosity of our members in our community.
So for tickets, do they call that same 242-6600?
They can actually go to our website.
Okay.
And on our website, we'll have all the information, and it's at womenhelpingwomenmaui.org, and there's all the information that you need there. You can purchase tickets online as well, and a big portion of your donation is tax deductible.
Right. That's cool. Now, the people that decorate the tables, are those, they aren't the people who buy a table?
They buy a table.
Oh, they do?
They do buy a table,
decorate their own table.
Decorate it. And the accolades that go around that happen after, if you should win this competition, is you you get to be put in the Maui News. But I have to, again, highlight the fact that it's really helping a wonderful organization that helps, and the women are the ones who benefit
Right.
from it. But, you know, there's a lot of fun, too, in doing this. And so,
Right.
yes, we have a first and second, third place for the table designers. And they come in and they just dress the whole table up.
Well, now last year you did what, superheroes?
Yes.
And I saw some of the pictures. You put your pictures up on the website.
Yes, we do. And you will have that as well.
Those were incredible outfits that people had and creating their own superheroes.
Yes, and that's the whole theme of doing a themed event, is coming out, highlighting and showcasing your talent.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So and of course, again, women helping women, and their residents are the ones who benefit.
Now, is this your major fundraiser for the
This
year?
is our
This
one.
is a big one.
This is the really big one that we do
Okay.
every year.
I know you do a fun run and some of these other things.
Yes,
but
but this is the one.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there going to be a band?
There is going to be Jarrett Roback, and we will also.
Everybody's out there doing the Charleston?
We have a contest, actually.
Really?
Yes, we have one of the Cruz brothers. I'm flipping through my notes. right
Okay.
now. So we do have entertainment, and we're gonna have John Cruz,
John Cruz? Cool. Okay.
Jarrett Roback,
Yeah.
and
I don't know.
some things you just have to come and you have to experience yourself.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's not on your website, all this detail.
No, we don't want to be too upfront about what's going to happen because you need to come and see what's going to happen.
Be surprised.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of changes happening right now, a lot of good and positive changes. You know, we just
Yes.
with the addition of our Lanai project, we did also.
Well, now you just did Hana starting last year.
Yeah.
Right?
And we just welcomed Sonoy Kaihui in her new capacity as deputy director
Well, that's right.
of the
that's right.
organization. She was our TRO advocate, and she accepted the role as deputy director, and she's doing amazing.
Cool.
Amazing
Yeah,
work,
because your
yes.
deputy director went over to the homeless shelter.
Yes. Yes.
Quite a switch around there. That was pretty neat.
Yes, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to also highlight we have the boutique, Revive Boutique.
Right, Revive Boutique.
We always accept donations, and 100% of the proceeds go back into Women Helping Women. So, you know, I wanted to highlight that as well.
Okay, and the boutique is at
It's located at the Kahului Shopping Center, 65 Ka'ahumanu Avenue in Kahului. The hours are Monday to Saturday from 11 to 5. You can call 495-0067.
okay.
Donations are welcomed. We don't take baby items because there's a safety factor, you know, if there's recalls or what have you, but clothes, furniture, every bit goes a long way.
And a lot of it is just very gently used.
Very gently used. It's a wonderful, wonderful store.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of on the back side of the shopping center. You don't see it if you go into the front end off of Kahumanu Avenue.
It's more on the Papa Avenue side.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Yeah.
have to go in through that side.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Terrific store. So, like again, I've just got to get my hats off to you as all that's being done by, you said 20 employees, considering the various locations and the different programs within. The board's got to be very active to keep all this happening.
It's easy when you have a wonderful staff.
There you go.
That's what it amounts to when you have a great executive director that keeps it all rolling, and a staff who is willing to do the work that they do. They suit up, they show up, and they do what is meant to do, not because they have to, but because they have a
Because-
desire to.
Yeah. And I see that, you guys share our office building with us, and I see as they're going back and forth between the different offices and working with their clients and so forth, they care.
Absolutely.
It's not just a job.
There's a saying that says, if you do what you love, you'll never have to work a day again. And
Yeah.
being around all the women and men who serve Women Helping Women is an amazing collective collaboration that I'm so very proud and humbled to be a part of. as is the rest of our board.
Right. Wonderful. Hey, thank you for being with us, Michelle. This has been great.
Thanks for having us.
And good luck on the fundraiser coming up on Sunday.
Thank you so much.
And I know you don't need good luck because this is the, was it 19th annual?
Absolutely.
So you've got it wired.
I don't know about wired, but we've got it to a good science where it's been successful.
Right. So if you're looking for tickets, go to the womenhelpingwomenmaui.org website or give a call at 242-6600. And again, the 24-hour hotline, if you have an immediate situation going on, 579-9581. Is that a Maui or is that Oahu number?
It's a Maui number.
Okay, so we don't need the 808. I always get confused because people always say 808, and I think, why am I calling long distance? You know, but the 579-95681. Put that down and give them a call if something is going on that you need some immediate assistance with. Michelle, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Susie.
We'll see you later. Okay, now we're going to shift gears and we're going to talk with some folks from a brand new agency member of the Maui Nonprofit Directors Association. You guys joined right before year end, I think, wasn't it?
Yep.
Something like that?
Just before year end, we actually just became our own nonprofit organization.
Oh, you got your 501c3.
Yep, in February.
Wow, that's great. So now you're official and you're going, well, you were going full blast anyway. So anyway, we've got with us Kathy Becklein, who's the co-founder of Grow Some Good, and Lynn Huff, who is the founder of Maui School Garden Network. Hi,
That's
Lynn.
right. Good morning.
How you doing?
And we're both on the board for Grow Some Good.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
all
we
right.
are.
That sounds even better. So I was looking through the website, and one of the first questions that popped into my head, and I kind of talked with Kathy a little bit about it before the show, and that is Maui School Garden Network is kind of an umbrella organization for all the schools on Maui.
I would say so, yes. That it was founded to be an organization that could track all the different schools, all the different organizations that would be potential partners, could make links to the county as well as the state level with regard to the school garden movement as a whole.
I see. Okay. And now was Grow Some Good one of the first ones, or was the first one? No?
One of the
Uh-oh.
first. I think, there were some other
Okay.
schools that had school gardens when we first started, but we were one of the first that really dove into. We went from our very first year was just 3 little beds, and the second year we had a whole 10,000 square foot garden
my
in the
gosh.
in the center of campus with most of the teachers that year wanting to participate.
Wow, that's a jump and a half.
It was hard to say no.
I remember those times, Kathy. We're talking about Kihei Elementary School,
Okay.
where Grow Some Good really started. The first year they had 2 teachers on board, and the second year 26. So I think that says a lot.
Wow. So those 3 little beds must have really produced some great vegetables there to get everybody excited about it.
Well, when you have second graders, they're excited no matter what.
So now that's the age group you started with?
That was the first. It was second grade
Wow.
science teacher, and she just had several science classes, so she sent them all through, and yeah.
Neat. So now it reaches grades.
Pre-K through 12, we actually have
Oh
a
my gosh.
program
Yes, we do.
at Baldwin High School.
Wow. So now, you've expanded not only the ages, but the schools as
Yep.
well under Grow Some Good.
So we support 12 schools now, and I had just asked our garden coordinators, how many students do you guys see each week? And they said, well, most of the schools are on a bi-weekly schedule, so every 2 weeks we see a total of over 2,000 students that they're connecting with. They're helping teachers assist in lessons, and then we also have some special programs where even more kids come in. So we say in the course of a year, over 3,000 students are impacted by Grow Some Good.
My gosh. And then if we translate that into taking that home and starting their own gardens, You guys have really started a movement here.
Well, it's about gardening, and we teach lots of lessons in science, which I think is so important to the kids. But we also encourage them to know where their food's coming from, to know the nutritional value of their food, and to take those lessons home. And each of the schools, I think almost all the schools anyway, have a nursery where they start plants to encourage the kids to take them home.
So that's why my thumb is black instead of green. I don't know the science behind what I'm trying to grow. Is that the answer? Part of it?
Maybe, but growing's pretty simple.
You haven't seen my plans.
It does take care and attention. And
there you
when
go.
we're busy, sometimes my garden looks terrible too.
Yeah, there's some weeks just go flying by, and I look out there and I go, I didn't water this week, or I didn't,
Yep.
or something that I thought was last week was about going to be ready to pick this week. It's gone because a creature came in and ate it before I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's a good thing I can do some other things.
What's exciting for me is the number of parents that come to us and say, my child has never eaten carrots at home, but my child is eating carrots at school that come from his or her garden. I don't get it.
That's because you don't grow the carrots at home.
That's right. That's right. So we do want to encourage that.
You know, I think about when I was a little kid, my grandmother had this huge garden. And I knew when things were going to be ripe because I kept wandering over there. She lived about the equivalent of 4 houses down the road. Mm-hmm. But it was all open territory, right? So I could just take the path and walk over there. And I'd go slip into her garden. Peas are ready. Sit there and pop open those pods and eat those peas like there was no tomorrow. And leave the pods, right? And so all of a sudden I could hear like, Grandma went out to get some peas for supper, and all she found were the pods. And I get this, Susie's, been here kind of a thing. And I go, oh, no, and I think, I got to clean up the pods. And well, that's stupid. She knows those were all ready, But I would do that with that and fresh lettuce and tomatoes. And what was it? They had some corn on the cob, which you don't have to cook it. Hello, just peel it and eat it. But I would have such great time all by myself over there, just enjoying her garden. And I think, why don't I have a garden? Well, I didn't need one. She had one,
Right.
kind of thing. And we had a special bond, and yeah, she'd get mad at me because she probably did want to serve those for supper that night. But just, the green onions, those were the things.
Oh, yeah.
Get them when they're just the right size, not too big, not too small.
They still have all the flavor of a big
gosh.
one when they're tiny.
Yes. Anyway, so I'm sorry, that's kind of off the track, but it just reminds me of those good old days. And I wish I could do that today.
Well, and one thing we found in the program, and it's evolved now so that the schools, the kids that are in it are learning so fast now, but we were really surprised at the very beginning. We'd grow green beans, something that's very easy to grow, and teach the kids to open them up and pop the beans out and stuff. Or actually eat the whole green bean whole, because when they're young and tender, they're so good.
Oh, yeah.
But they didn't. They wanted to pop them, and their only experience was Costco edamame. And so it took a while to teach them that you don't have to open them up, just eat them.
Right.
And now they know you leave them on, and you can wait until they get bulgy, and we take them off and keep the seeds.
Right.
There are so many wonderful teaching moments in the midst of learning with our children. One of my favorites is this little boy who went to the box garden that he and his classmates had been working on. And he had this shocked look on his face. He pointed his finger to the garden and he said, "What's that?" And the teacher said, "Oh, that's a tomato plant." He said, "But we didn't plant tomato seeds there." Isn't that a perfect teaching moment? So then, children, how do you think the seed got there if we didn't plant a seed there? And that gets into all the different wind and birds and so forth ways in which that can happen. So these kinds of miracles just
Cool. Yeah. I'm reminded of the commercial that's on TV right now, the little girl planting the jelly beans. Have you seen that?
No.
Mom's working in her garden and she wants to help, so she comes out with this bag of jelly beans and she's planting them in the garden right next to where Mom's planting. And she keeps looking out and nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. And then Dad comes along and puts out the Easter things that he's bought. It's a Walmart commercial, I think. He's got a Walmart bag. He's picked up all these different things, and so he's got the Easter eggs and the candied this and that. He puts them out there. She looks out the window. She goes, "It worked," or something to that effect. And you're just sitting there going, "Oh gosh, that's too much."
isn't it? It's
What you can plant, and get something, and what you can plant and get nothing. You get something all the time if Dad's around. But it was just cool. I was sitting there going, "Don't do that to that jelly bean. It looks good." The yellow one, my favorite.
Right. Well, that's like we find teaching moments in everything. We'll have the beautiful white butterflies come in and eat up all of our kale and cabbage products. But the kids learn from that, and they love going on pest detective, where they're looking for the bugs.
Interesting.
And so really exciting is when we find them. I'm praying mantis.
Oh,
mantis,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those are-
They'll hold them, and it's like,
Yes.
oh.
Right. On that note, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we are back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, where each week we talk story with some of our executive directors or staff or board members about what's going on with their agency and what they're doing to help the folks of Maui keep Maui the best it can be. And today in the second half of the show, we're talking with the folks from the Grow Some Good organization. We've got Len Huff, who's the founder of the Maui School Garden Network, Kathy Beckling, co-founder of Grow Some Good. Both are board members for Grow Some Good. And we started out, actually the intent is to talk about the big event they have coming up this Saturday. But I enjoy talking about what you're doing because it's so fascinating. And I can just, when you were talking about second graders, I could see them running home with a picture that somebody took or something that was grown in the garden and showing it to mom and dad and saying, "Can't we have a garden?"
That absolutely happens, and we try to teach so that even if all you've got is a lanai, you can have a garden. So, and many of them, we find also they connect with their grandparents because their grandparents are gardeners.
Ah,
So
okay.
it's a good connection with the multi-generations.
Right, because the grandparents usually have a little more time and to spend in a garden, and what better way to learn from you guys as well as their grandparents and in growing. Now, the products that you grow, the vegetables and so forth, what do you do with those?
Well, we have opportunities to give them out to some of the other organizations, as well as giving them to our school administration people. And like I know at Kihei, they use the YMCA period to actually, the kids will man the booth, and they sell the produce as well as the starts. And it's for donation only, but the kids look at it like they're selling
Right.
stuff, and they like collecting the money too.
Right, and that goes back into the process of buying the materials you need and so forth.
Yep, and just to leverage a little bit is some of our produce that's being used for our event this weekend is actually grown in the school gardens,
Oh, great!
as well as by many of our Maui farmers.
Yes,
Right.
Yes.
So this is a real farm to table event.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so tell us about the event. Taste of School Gardens.
So it is this coming Saturday, March 12th, starting at 5 o'clock. It is out at the Wailea Resort on their Sunset Lawn. Beautiful venue, and the weather's supposed to be great. So, and we are featuring 8 world-class chefs from many of our resorts and stuff. We have Hana Ranch Provisions, Capiche, The Market, Spago, Duo, Fabiani's, Cow Pig Bun, and Outrigger Pizza. So, and each of those is creating, I think almost all of them have 2 dishes that are inspired by the school garden. So it's a people think it's all vegetarian. No, it's not. It's a combination. So we have a little bit for everybody.
Interesting. And music. Gary,
Music
we have some music. Yeah,
from Soul Kitchen.
from Soul Kitchen.
Oh,
Nope, we don't have it. Okay.
Oh, but
Whoops.
anyway, Soul Kitchen, they're great. You'll enjoy them. And also, the event has wine and beer.
PSA.
So, a really nice selection for you to enjoy. It's not just, it's really good wine.
Yeah, it goes great with all the vegetables.
And lots of different types to taste. So, that's all donated to us.
Okay, cool. Wow. You want to say something? I can
Yes,
tell.
it is. It's a wonderful experience. It's all outside, and it's the most magnificent combination of music and sunset and different chefs that are supporting our program. One of the things we want to say about the island of Maui, remember I was talking about Middle School Garden Network and tying in with the state level, is that Maui is really known for the support of its chefs to this program. And so we want to reach out to all of our chefs that support the program. One we haven't mentioned yet is Paris Navabi with the Sangrita Grill and Cantina on the west side.
Right.
And he's initiated several different efforts Persian dinners. He'll invite people for Persian dinners to his home. He's formerly with Four Seasons, but now on his own. And he also supports the seed purchases, the organic seed purchases of all 46 of our schools.
Oh my goodness.
Under the Maui School Garden Network. A very, very generous man and always looking for ways to improve health and nutrition within our schools.
That's great. And there's something about it he was doing. It was mentioned on your website.
Yeah, he's doing one of his dinners that he does several times a year. And that is the week from Saturday, the 19th, is it? Yeah.
Be. Mhm.
So those sell out. I haven't checked the status yet, but they always sell out really quick because it's a small, intimate setting at his home, and he always has something fabulous that he brings.
Right. Yeah, that's exciting. So now, approximately how many people come to an event like this for you?
So the venue supports about 475, so we're estimating about 350 guests because we have a lot of volunteers, many chefs and stuff also supporting us. So 375.
Nice gathering.
Yeah, so it's a good gathering. We did sell out last year, so we hope to sell out this year. You can get your tickets at growsomegood.org/events.
Cool. That's exciting. Now, this is your major fundraiser.
This is our yearly major fundraiser.
Cool.
Yep.
So, you all come, huh?
Yep, and just like Michelle's fundraiser, we have a great silent auction and a live auction. We have 6 items on our live auction. we do, again, it's our chefs that are giving back to us. So many of our auctions are chef dinners, private dinners.
Wow.
A private farm tour of Hana Ranch. And one is a pizza party.
That must be from Outrigger.
Yes, it is.
That's cool.
So we have 6 live auction items and lots of great things on our silent auction.
And we have so many people that wish they could just come right into the garden at whatever school and watch the children in action. So we have a huge screen, and throughout the evening you're going to be seeing slides of all our different schools.
Oh, really?
And watching the children in action.
Oh my goodness, how fun. How fun that is. Now, do parents support this to some extent, or is it a lot of people who just support the idea of the schools?
Well, the
gardens.
Parents definitely support it, and but I think our number one supporters are our teachers.
I see.
And,
that's interesting.
Many of our volunteers are teachers from the different schools we support.
Right.
And I think one of the reasons why they support the program so strongly is that they see what is happening and the changes that are occurring in their children as a result of the program. You catch the children in learning. The children are excited. They're in an outdoor environment. It's a field trip on your own campus is really what it is. And that means that there are so many things in that outdoor environment that are changing by the minute. The way the sun is moving across the sky is measured by putting a pencil in the garden and then watching the shadow of that pencil, for instance.
I gotcha.
So, and it's a nurturing thing, and you'll find discipline problems in schools are going to go down as a result of garden programs. So it's an integration of learning. Whatever is coming up in that in that moment, you can integrate it with geometry. You can integrate it with calculations of measurement. You can have the children identify adjectives and put them into a poem for English. It doesn't matter what the subject is. It integrates there on site in that garden.
Interesting.
That's why people want to support the program.
Did you have any idea what you were starting back in 2008?
Well, we actually started as part of South Maui Sustainability, so
Okay.
it was really out of the sustainability movement. But we kind of felt like we were preaching to the choir. And so moving and working with the kids, it was like we're reaching a much broader audience, and that's what we want.
Right. We've got the soundbite we were looking for before. Go ahead, Gary.
Aloha, this is Neo with Grow Some Good. Join us Saturday, March 12th for a taste of school gardens at the beautiful Hotel Wailea. Enjoy gourmet dishes by world-class chefs using local and school garden grown ingredients. Fine wines, local brews, and music by Soul Kitchen. Proceeds benefit Grow Some Good, a school garden program dedicated to improving nutrition and inspiring Maui's next generation of farmers, chefs, teachers, and scientists. For tickets and to grow some good in your neighborhood, visit growsomegood.org.
Hey people, let's get it right.
Very good.
That was Neo, one of my co-founders.
Yeah, very
He did
good.
great.
Yeah, that's great. That'll get people going. Wonderful, wonderful. So we've got Soul Kitchen on Saturday, and we've got the doing the Charleston on Sunday.
Yes, ma'am.
The music for everybody.
I'm hungry now.
So now, when they prepare the food for this event, do they concentrate on the vegetables?
And they do things that are inspired by the school garden.
Okay.
So, some of the dishes are meat dishes, some are vegetable dishes, and it's just a combination. The menus are out on our website, and it's like, oh my gosh. One of the guys, he did this last year, but he makes eatable soil. So his little dish actually looks like dirt with some greens growing out of it. But I heard it was delicious. I missed eating it last year. I was so busy.
Interesting. Oh.
So let's enjoy some eatable soil.
Gotcha. That's wonderful. You almost have to have a picture of that to imagine, yeah?
I just got more hungry.
Yeah.
I think there is a picture on our
On the website? Okay.
growsomegood.org.
Sounds good.
growsomegood.org, right.
Sounds good. Any last minute thoughts before we have to call it a day here today? Or did we say it all?
I just want to thank our community, the people that show up for our work and learn days. They learn so much while they're there, and they want to participate in so many ways. So Maui has a very, very supportive community of people that help out our nonprofits, and we are so grateful for all the different ways in which they do.
I want to bump off at that too and just thank the community for their generosity. It's without the community and what they do to help make these fundraisers for us successful. Without that, there would be no real fundraiser to have. So thank you to the Maui community and its businesses. That's why they say Maui no Ko'oi.
That's right.
That's
That's
I was
right.
just going to say that.
That's right. That's what all of us in the nonprofit world say, because it's the greatest place to live, it's the greatest place to work, and the greatest place to share our resources with each other.
Absolutely. Now we have edible soil.
There we go. Edible soil. I like that. Thank you both for being here. Actually, thank all three of you for being here, the two different agencies, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But Maui Nonprofit Notes is sponsored as a community service by Pacific Source, the builder's choice. Give Paul and his staff a call at 986-0380 or stop by their showroom in the Waikapu Bayshard on East Oahe Way to see how they can help you with your building project. The Maui Nonprofit Directors Association's mission is to provide personal and professional support to nonprofit executive directors, their organizations, and the community of Maui. Please visit our website at mauinonprofit.org for a list of member agencies. And if you see one there that you'd like to learn more about, please click on their website and take a look and then give them a call. Today we visited with Women Helping Women and talked with Michelle about their fundraiser coming up on Sunday, the Roaring 20s. Give them a call at 242-6600 or on their website, womenhelpingwomenmaui.org. And again, that 24-hour hotline, if you have something going on that needs immediate attention, 579-9581. In the second half of the show, we visited with the folks from Grow Some Good. We talked with Lynn and Kathy, who are on the board of directors, talking about the Taste of School Gardens coming up on Saturday. For tickets for that event, go to growsomegood.org, and you can get your ticket right there and join them in the fun of eating some dirt. Nah.
I like to play in it more than eat it.
It just looks like it. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to join us again next week right here, Wednesday at noon on KAOI Radio, when we'll be featuring representatives of two other member agencies of the Maui Nonprofit Directors Association. Until then, I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. We want to thank everybody for joining us today. Have a great week, everyone. It's that season. It's the weekend of fundraisers and special events. We want to see everybody again next week on Wednesday at noon. Thanks. Aloha, everyone.